right, guys, so let's see what we got for the storyline. Holy Spirit, angel guys, what do you have for the storyline? Hi, Fempress. I think that's how you say it. We have Faith. We have me. And at the top, we have hair and nails. So this is setting the mood for the storyline. We have, I am confident I will achieve my goals. I live in the present and have faith in the future. I firmly believe in my value within the universe. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's crazy because I wrote an affirmation about faith in the Patreon today, and it was talking about we have to have faith, right? Regardless of what we're seeing in the moment, because your faith is going to be the thing that gives you hope and helps you to push through. So, hi, book. So, it's like, never lose your faith. And especially when you put it into the universe, some people say God. You get me? It doesn't matter how you see it. It's just don't lose your faith. Then we have me. I allow serenity to reign in me. The love I have for myself invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to honor and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. So this is somebody that no matter what they go through, even when things are difficult, even when things are hard, they really try to lean on their faith, but also be true to themselves and what their soul really needs, right? So it's like that's a very, very deep meaning when you think about what your soul needs. It's like that's where your authenticity comes from, because it's like there's a lot of temptation around the world, and if you're in a place where there's things that you want or things you feel you need, but it requires you to strip yourself in a way that it's like you wouldn't be proud of how you got it, or um, something about it makes you degrade yourself for it, then it's like you're not being authentic. You're not paying attention to what your soul really needs. So it's like fighting against the temptation and only going after what is authentic for you, even if it takes a long time. You get me? It's like not selling yourself for, and I'm not talking about sex or anything like that. It's just in any ways we can do that, right? There's opportunities that come in where it's like, if we take that opportunity, hey Nani, thank you. Hi Jennifer. If we take that opportunity and that opportunity isn't good for us, then or that opportunity might get you there quicker, but then in the long run, you might not feel good about what you did to get it, right? So it's like that. We have here and now. The future does not exist and the past is gone. Ooh, I like that one. I focus on the present moment. I have confidence in life again, because here and now, there is no danger. Everything happens when my soul is ready. So this is also encouragement that you have not, like, you're not behind or you're not ahead. You're exactly where you're supposed to be on your path. You are aligned, right? And you're getting yourself aligned. I know it's like, how can I be aligned if I'm getting myself aligned? You're aligned in this moment because this is the moment you were supposed to have the clarity that you have. This is the moment you were supposed to come to this conclusion. This was the moment that you were supposed to move in a new direction, right? This is exactly where you're supposed to be, here and now, because your journey is still unfolding. Your journey is still being created. Your journey is still opening up to you. You still don't fully know who you're going to become and where you're going to be taken. You might have an overall vision of what you see success as or what you're working towards, but you don't know that it's way bigger than what you have planned for yourself. because the universe is going to expand it. So they're saying that you're right where you're supposed to be, but you're aligning yourself. You're already aligned, but you're aligning yourself now to your future, to the future self that you're becoming, to the work that you're going to have to do to become that person, right? Everything happens when your soul is ready. So there's nothing, you have not lost anything. Let's get an angel guidance, and then we're going to get into the tarot. What else do we have for the butterfly? I don't do personals on live, Brandon. I don't take questions. These are collective. If you guys want to book a personal, the link will be in the bio. And make sure that you guys watch the video on the playlist on how to book a personal before booking. And that will give you all the information you need to know. Ooh. So, the universe is saying get more information, right? Either there's an opportunity coming in or an opportunity will come in and we have peaceful resolution. So with this energy, I'm getting that it's so fake, but you feel the need to come on here and say it's fake. If you so believe in God and this is fake and it's not real, why are you watching it? Your life isn't revolved around cards. These people. Anyways, get more information, right? So it's like what you think in a situation it might not be all of it. So this could go 50-50. This can be that something that you think you're not meant to have, you are meant to have, but there's some things hidden from you, so you're not seeing it fully, right? And then we have opportunity. So you might, I don't remember what I just said. I think I said, because I said, okay, let me start again. It can go 50-50. So the get information could be on something that you think you might not, is not for you, but it is, or it's something that you think is for you, but it's not. There's either a better opportunity coming up or there's an opportunity coming in to where this situation will be able to work itself out. Either way of which direction it's going, there's going to be a peaceful resolution, because that peaceful resolution is you having clarity about the direction you're supposed to go, right? Because it's like, let's say, like we just had a reading on TikTok that was on an energy of a masculine that misjudged a feminine, and she's now becoming successful, right? Let's say we're still picking up on that energy. We didn't have an outcome to that storyline. So the outcome could be that, yes, even though he judged her and all of these things, and he always had this love for her, the get more information could be on the fact that he was doing inner work. He recognized some things, and he felt a lack in himself. It was more to the story. It wasn't just about his belief system around his family. He had to find the courage to break free from it. And along the way, he saw how she was so independent and free, and he wanted to be like that, but he didn't know how. And he's slow to learning. That can be something that changes her whole perspective on the situation, and might want to give them an opportunity, because that conversation will change how things were being said. Yu-Gi-Oh! How things were being shown, I guess, right? Looked at in the situation. So the information, the truth matters. And in that same situation, it could be the same thing, that someone ends up finding out that somebody isn't what they thought they were, right? They're an opportunist, and they haven't grown much, and they only want to come back in because they they're like a gold digger or something. But finding out the truth is still gonna get somebody to understand that they dodged a bullet, or they could connect to something, um, or they could connect to someone because they have a different outlook on them. Y'all get it. Y'all get it, right? So now let's get into the tarot and let's see what it has to say. All right, Holy Spirit, Angel, guys, what do you have? What's the energy? Ooh, this Queen of Pentacles. She keep coming out. Or is this the Ace of Pentacles? No, I'd say this the Queen. Oh, wow. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Damn, that King of Swords, y'all. That's crazy. So this might be a continuation of that storyline. We'll see. We have Six of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. So someone wants to invest in this Queen of Pentacles. Someone, which is this King of Swords, either they're looking for this opportunity, or they feel like right now is the right opportunity, but hi Betty, they want to invest, or they want her to invest in them. I would say they want her to choose them, invest in them. It's like the ball is in her court, right? Happy October. But on their side, they're trying to figure out how to either create this opportunity, or they're waiting for an opportunity. What we have is the Nine of Cups, and we have the Magician. So what this is telling me is that this person, they've been manifesting this connection. They've always held on to this connection. I don't know what you're saying, William. You guys don't tell me how to read my stories. I'm doing good, Betty. Thank you, Betty. I'm just not showing my face because my tooth was hurting. It's a little hurting right now, but it's okay. It's slowly going away. It's slowly going away. Because I've been doing a lot of salt rinse and baking soda. It's been helping. So it's a little swollen. It's not really too bad, but it's going down. So hopefully it goes down soon. Tomorrow I have an appointment, and I hope it goes well because I don't have insurance, and I'm looking for places that accept that. But if I'm all about customer service, it's not even about like the pricing because I can pay it off, but it's like usually then places don't be giving you good service. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. So hopefully it goes well, because if they don't have good customer service, I'm out of there. Now I'm gonna have to keep looking. But anyways, back to the storyline. They've been manifesting her. They've actually been really holding her closely to them. This is someone that they deeply, deeply desire. They have strong feelings and emotions for this person. I feel like this person is also very territorial. They they hide this though. They don't come off that way. Hi, me and my cousin. Yeah, these two things is crazy. They don't come off that way. I feel like this person is, they keep all their feelings hidden, secretive. I do feel like this is a continuation of TikTok. So if you guys were on TikTok, this is the second part of this story. It's so crazy how it traveled over here on YouTube. um but this person's energy, the way that they're coming off is they really truly authentically want this connection regardless of how they behaved in the past. You get me? It's like I feel like their energy is sincere. Their energy is, but what we read on TikTok was the shadow aspect of that person, right? It's like all of those things were true the way they saw her. They saw her struggling. They saw her as somebody who didn't fit their class, their lifestyle. So even if they wanted her, they wouldn't have pursued her because they felt like their family, their friends wouldn't accept her. She wasn't polished enough, right? Have a good night. That's what that storyline was about. And I feel like they started out that way. They were in their ego. They were in their ego. They were also awakening. And then it's like they had to be brave and make choices for themselves. And then they also experienced financial losses. So they end up being in the same position that they met her in when they judged her. It is like the role switch karma, right? The role switch to where she's the one sitting in that high position and they're the ones in a lower position. And they judged her when she was in that position. So it's ironic how it switched, but it's karma. But now we're getting the second half of it where we're seeing them come to their light. We're seeing how they truly felt on the inside, regardless of what they reflected on the outside. Everybody has a shadow and a light side to them. That's why Spirit always tell you, like, take your time in relationships. Don't judge a book by its cover. Who people are on the inside are sometimes who they represent themselves differently on, wait, who people are on the inside and how they represent themselves on the outside sometimes can be two totally different people. And it is who they are, but it's the duality of them, right? I would think that I'm a private person, but a lot of people think they know me because I'm very open. It's like, how can you be private and open at the same time? That's my duality. I'm private because no one really knows what's going on in my personal life, but I'm open because I share with you guys things that I've experienced on my journey relating to the journey, right? It's basic things like relationships. We all go through it, but no one knows the ins and outs, the details of my life and my experiences. So I'm a private person. Only people close to me. The way I show up versus who I really am on the inside is different, right? So, hey Keely, I haven't seen you in a little while. Hi Sock. It was the same thing with this masculine. He had two versions of himself, but the person who he really is on the inside, he didn't show. He didn't let anybody see, right? And I feel like he was changing more and more on the inside when he met this feminine, but he he still had to battle who he was on the out, who he was showing up on the outside as. So he was manifesting her. He had this like claim over her, this territorialness over her. Two of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. Okay, here we go. So what he's saying is that, like, when this feminine came into my life, so we're speaking from his point of view because he wants to talk. He said, when this feminine came into my life, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know where my priorities lied. So I sat back, I withdrew my energy, and I watched and I observed. It's like he observed her, and as he observed her, he observed himself, because what he saw in her and how she operated was completely different than how he operated. So who she was on the outside and who he was on the outside, they didn't match. They were in two different class, two different lifestyles. But who they were on the inside, he wanted to match her, but he knew he wasn't a match for her. Does that make sense? So what I said earlier was the truth. He judged her, but what he wanted with her was different than what he felt like he could have. But ironically, she became all of that, right? So I feel like there's like guilt. He has guilt, he has shame, he has remorse, because it's like, it's not even just the fact that she's now this Queen of Pentacles. It's the fact that his ego, who he was when he met her, was so big. It was so, it's like he's disgusted with himself. It was so nasty. And the fact that he misjudged her based off of his ego, even though his heart felt something different. He thought about what everybody else thought, or he was so concerned with pleasing everybody else and in their opinion, to the point that it got to where he lost her, right? It's like she got tired of them not wanting to invest in her. They were a part of her journey in her becoming that Queen of Pentacles, because it was another person who showed her where she had to depend on herself, that she's always by herself, right? And then she pushed him on his journey where he had to look at his inner world. Like, so he saw her become this Queen of Pentacles. And then it's like he feels bad because not only did she become really successful and that girl, right? She still is that beautiful person he knows she is on the inside. But he had all this material success and he was this ugly person on the inside. Like, you get me? Because that's what came out. That's what he was showing up as. So it's like, even when she didn't have the image to match how she still was a beautiful person. She still showed up in that beautiful light. So she's the whole package. She's both stable and spiritual. It's like she's humble. She's not greedy. She doesn't think she's better than anybody. And he feels bad for how he misjudged her, how he let other people's opinions of his lifestyle and how he should live it stop him from pursuing her. Because I wouldn't say he was ashamed of her. It wasn't even that. It was like well, maybe he was. Maybe he was. He was ashamed of her. Like, he wasn't supposed to fall in love with somebody like that. He wasn't supposed to want somebody like that. He was supposed to want somebody who had it all together like him or showed up like him. You get me? But I feel like this is how he was raised. So it's not 100% his fault. it's like this was just how he was raised. This is how, so this reading could be triggering, but this is how trauma works. But again, going back to his insides saw her as someone that he wanted to be more like, because she didn't care about what people thought about her. She was free. She was beautiful. She made decisions based off of what she wanted and not how people felt about it. And he didn't live his life like that. He thought about what everybody else would think. You get me? So he wouldn't have made those moves even if he wanted to. But along the way, he started to really distance himself because he knew she deserves someone who's on her level. She deserves someone who has the boldness to choose her, who has who matches her individualness. He wasn't an individual, she was. Just because you're independent, like you can take care of yourself and live on your own, doesn't mean that you're an individual. It doesn't mean that you're really independent, because you can have a group mindset, you can have a societal mindset, you can have a program mindset. You're an individual when you're free and you don't give a fuck about what nobody thinks about what you're doing with your life. If you want to be a hoe, you're going to be a proud hoe, because that's nobody's concern but that's your coochie. Like, you could do what you want with it. Who cares about what other people think about what you're doing with it? You get me? That's when you're free. I be respecting them hoes, because I'm like, I could never. But that's some brave shit to do. Like, you're getting judged by people and you don't care. Go ahead, I respect you. Go do your thing, because you got my respect. But it's not for us to judge, right? Like, some people do that for free and they should be out there hoeing. But anyways, it's like he didn't have the freedom that she did in herself. And he started to recognize that he can't really move towards her, because even though he likes her and he wants her, they're not the same when it comes to their values and their happiness. And oh wow, I didn't even notice. My bad. I thought this was a Ace of Pentacles. This is a King of Pentacles. So he came out with the with the King of Swords. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think this King of Swords is this King of Pentacles, because we got a match pair. But at the same time, I think it could be a whole new person. So we'll see. Right now, I'll take it as it's this King of Swords, because they came out together. And I'm not feeling third party. But with that Two of Pentacles, that is juggling. Oh, okay, I understand too. It's many different things. So this King of Swords, he is a King of Pentacles. He is a King of Pentacles. That's why it just adds to everything that I was saying. Because the King of Pentacles is somebody who got money. They stable. Y'all heard my stomach. They could, sometimes they, depend on how they are, they could be flashy. They could be people who love the lavish life. They indulge in it, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. It's like, if you make good money and you can enjoy your money, you're supposed to enjoy life. But Pentacles energy, they like their money. They like to do things, get out there, explore. See, it's nothing wrong with the fact that this masculine like money. It's the fact that he let that money determine what he should have in a partner. So it's what I was saying before, is that he saw this feminine and he liked this feminine and he liked her insides, but he felt like she wasn't that Queen of Pentacles. She wasn't that Queen of Pentacles when he met her. So he judged her, but now she's this Queen of Pentacles, and now he's trying to figure out how he can get an opportunity to invest in her. Because that's the thing that held him back in the past, is that she didn't fit his image. But ironically, now she does, because she was always going to become that Queen of Pentacles, but he judged her when she wasn't, right? But I think before she became that Queen of Pentacles, as he observed her, he was trying to change, because he felt drawn to her, but he saw how free she was. See, he's a king of swords, so he's an air energy. So with him being that air sign, he typically tends to be more critical. He tends to operate out of his headspace, not his heart. So even if he wants something and he feels it, if he feels like it's not a compatibility or a match, he won't pursue it. And he felt like they weren't compatible based off of what they look like on the outside. But then in every way, I think he felt like they were different, because he felt like she's also different from him on the inside. You get what I'm saying? Like she don't look the part, and then she also has a different way of thinking, her mindset. But either way, he admired her. He admired who she was as a person. He felt drawn. He was interested in her. But I think that he told himself that she can't be my Queen of Pentacles. No way. That's not someone I'm supposed to love. I don't think that we want the same life. I don't think that we want the same things. I think we're so different. I don't see how this can work. That was what he thought of her. So he held back, because he was trying to figure out why he's drawn to her in the first place. Like, because who she is, he couldn't explain it. Who she is, he couldn't explain it. Right? This person in this storyline isn't bisexual. He's not bisexual in this storyline. This is a counterpart. This is not a twin flame. But he oh, your exes. He didn't see her as she fully was. He just was intrigued by her, and he couldn't understand her. So he withdrew his energy because he felt like he had to figure her out. But then as he was watching her, studying her, I feel like he had to figure out himself. It's like he didn't know who he was, so he had to figure out what his priorities are. She triggered him. She triggered him into his awakening. And he saw where he needed to work on himself. So this is where the change began to happen. But again, this was before she became the Queen of Pentacles. This was based off of him seeing how she operates. Do that make sense? Because I feel like I really be trying to explain these energies so y'all could really understand, because they are different. Even if they sound similar, it's like, this is someone who needed to work on themselves, and they're willing to work on themselves, but they came from different lifestyles, upbringing. So it's like they made mistakes based off of unhealed wounds, trauma, not out of intentional trying to cause pain intentionally, right? If someone tried to cause you pain intentionally, this is not that person that I'm talking about in this storyline. So this just might not be your reading. But this is someone who was attracted to a feminine that never pursued her, because he felt like they wasn't a match. He was this King of Pentacles, but he could be an air sign where he thinks he's more strategic in the way he operates. He's not emotions based. So he's not, even if he feels something for someone, he's not going to pursue them, because he feels like on the outside, on paper, it's not a match, right? So his observation of her was that they were different. He didn't see how it could work between them, but he still felt a pull to her. He still felt a draw to her. So regardless of what it looked like on paper, it's like it was something about her that still piqued his interest. He wasn't interested in other people in the way he was interested in her, even if they were Queen of Pentacles, right? So then he started to realize as he's observing her, she's someone who's so free. She's a free spirit, and she doesn't care about what anybody thinks, and she doesn't operate the way that he does. Like she's more free. So she's not a step by step rule oriented type of person. They're the type to follow the rules. You get me? So they're different in their energy and their approach. So then he began to balance out himself because he realized that, like, it's like she inspired him. He wanted to be more free like her. Hi, Genosis. He wanted to be more free like her. So he pulled back his energy because he realized that they really were different, and he had to match her energy if he would even be with her. But see, there's two different parts to this because there's the external self and there's the internal self. So his internal self, in secret, he's like, I want to be like her. I but I would have to change who I am to fit in this feminine's world because she is different from me, and she's not gonna live how I live my life because she's freer than me. So I would have to change to be a part of her world so I could be free like her. You get me? But at the same time, they're still dealing with their reality. So this person, they they're King of Pentacles. They're always out whining, dining, going out with friends, going out with family. They're enjoying life to the fullest. And nobody knows what they're dealing with on the inside. Nobody knows about this feminine. Nobody knows about how this masculine feels, and but he's really only interested in her. So it's like he's still keeping up with his lifestyle. He's still pretending like everything is fine, like he's not really changing. But I feel like he's awakening. He's starting to see things differently, but it's like once you start having to tell people no, they'll start questioning you. What's the change all of a sudden? Right? Because we're always going out together. We're always hanging out. We're always spending money. We're always doing this every week, every weekend. So if he starts saying no to pull his energy back because he wants to make time for the person he wants to see, now he has to explain to people. But he doesn't want anyone to know what he's dealing with because, again, this feminine don't fit his lifestyle. So he knows they're going to judge her. He knows they're going to judge him. And those are the things that he had to face where, remember, he needed to work on being free because she don't care. None in your songs. Because nobody, look, now I'm saying nobody because of dang song. Yeah, nobody knows about this feminine and how this masculine has been affected by her. He's just living his day-to-day normal life. So he wasn't ready. He wasn't brave enough to start saying no, right? Putting himself first. I think he's a people pleaser. I think that he's lived his whole life like that. So it's scary for him to step up out of that box because, he could lose his support. He could lose he could lose Oh my God, these cards. I can't, these cards keep changing, y'all. I feel like it's still the King of Swords, but this is a Queen of Swords, not a King of Swords. That changes everything. But this is the King of Pentacles. I still feel like it's because I read it that way. I saw it that way for a reason. So, but it adds another layer to the story. So, okay, let's rewind. Because y'all get where I'm going with it, right? Y'all have the understanding of this masculine's energy. This King of Pentacles, King of Swords, was dealing with a Queen of Swords, right? We've already heard this story, so we already know. But he was dealing with this Queen of Swords that he felt maybe at one point she was the Queen of Pentacles. He was juggling this feminine between between her and that Queen of Swords. And this was when he didn't know who he was. He didn't know what he wanted. He didn't know. That's why he pulled his energy back. I feel like he was still giving more to the Queen of Swords, right? He was giving more time, energy to her. But he pulled his energy back because he didn't know anymore. Maybe he thought he just was going to have fun with that Queen of Pentacles. And then he was going to actually be with the Queen of Swords because, see, the Queen of Swords fit his image. The Queen of Swords was like, it's given royal twin flame counterpart. The Queen of Swords was his twin flame. The Queen of Swords was fitting his image, but it didn't make him happy, right? It There was no substance to that connection. It was just all superficial. Everything about it was superficial. Even down to the passion, I felt like it was just a connection that was based off of, like, y'all know when y'all watch them TV shows and it's like the popular boy and he gets with the popular girl, but he really wants the nerdy girl, right? But then it's like he kind of wants the nerdy girl to have a glow up because then he can be proud because he can show off the nerdy girl to everybody. But he always wanted the nerdy girl, right? And then you've seen the movies where it's like the popular guy ends up changing and he defends the nerdy girl because he ends up being like getting into the nerdy girl's world because it's like he's really not happy being superficial and he really cares about her and he really loves her, but he he had to realize how much he was hurting her and it was hurting her to where he finally just stopped living the lie. It's like that. He was living the lie with the Queen of Swords when he really wanted that Queen of Pentacles, but she wasn't a Queen of Pentacles yet. So the lie was that he belonged with the Queen of Swords and he's supposed to be with the Queen of Swords. But then why is his heart calling out to the Queen of Pentacles? So he was juggling both of them. And I felt like he wanted the Queen of Pentacles more, but he knew he had to change in order to match her life, right? So he stayed away. And then he was still connected to that Queen of Swords. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Swords. And then the Ten of Pentacles. So he was really trying to figure it out, like, who he's supposed to invest in, right? Because now his reality is changing. Like, he knows he doesn't fully want that Queen of Swords, but then he feel like it's taboo to be with that Queen of Pentacles. So now he's confused. But see, he wasn't explaining any of this to any of them. I think he just kind of like withdrew his energy, maybe from both of them, but he still had to talk to that Queen of Swords because he was still connected to her the whole time. So what this boiled down to him for him was that he needed more confidence. He wasn't as confident as he thought he was. He was actually very his everything in his life was just superficial, because maybe he was confident because of what he had. So to a degree he was, but he wasn't to choose the path that he really wanted. So then it became, I'm gonna be confident one day. I'm gonna become this King of Wands. I'm gonna change. So he made up in his mind he was gonna change. Y'all, I'm hungry. He made up in his mind he was gonna change, right? But he kept watching, he kept spying, he kept looking, he kept observing. And I feel like it created, I don't know, it stressed him out as he's watching her, being alone, being away, because he realized she was an empress. Okay, that makes sense. Here goes the Justice card, and now here goes the Queen of Wands. Here goes the Star. Ooh, okay. This is why he's stressed out. It's like he's having nightmares because things didn't work out the way he had hoped, how he had planned. She knows. She knows that he was dealing with that Queen of Swords. We have, I know, at the top of her head. This is the healing card. And she healed herself from the situation. But she knew that they were dealing with that Queen of Swords while they stayed away from her. And that put a bad image of them in her mind, right? And they know that. Because all she knows is you wasn't invested in me. You chose someone else. That's where you wanted to be. So I'm gone. This is his karma because the way he handled the situation. And she's looking way more attractive than she's ever done because guess who she is now? The Queen of Pentacles. So he's feeling like it's hitting him, right? Because it's like she was gonna always be that Queen of Pentacles. So if had he just been authentic to himself, given to her, chosen her, he would have been with her when she became that Queen of Pentacles, because he would have seen that that's who she was gonna always become. So it's like she was already everything he wanted. She literally was that, but they weren't patient. They took too long just sitting there watching rather than connecting to her, getting to know her, to where they lose out on her when she still became a match for them. But it's not only that she's a Queen of Pentacles, he already loved who she was as a person. He felt like who you are on the inside is everything that I want. But why don't you match that on you? But you don't match that on the outside. But you don't match that on the outside. And it's like she eventually did. So there's that regret of, it's like in a way he invested in the wrong person, right? Thank you, Almeja. Almeja. I hope I said it right. Oh, I feel like this masculine feeling crunchy. Y'all know that word? Crunchy? Omega. It's like this masculine feeling crunchy because it's like Like from his perspective, this is how it went. It was, I met this feminine. I'm not supposed to want her, but I do. She's so different from me. She's not, you remember that word? It's like, I met this feminine. She's different from me. I'm not supposed to want her, but I do. I'm fascinated with her. I'm interested in her. She's actually very, very free spirited, and I respect her, and I want to be like that. Now I'm being triggered because I'm realizing that maybe I'm not as real as her. Like, but it's hard for me to disconnect from this pattern, this lifestyle, this family, the way that I've been showing up. But then I've been dealing with this Queen of Swords who I'm in a toxic relationship with because she's supposed to fit the lifestyle that I have, I'm that I've been in, like my environment, right? But we have no substance. There's no real love. We just look good on paper, and the toxicity is just how relationships go. He didn't see it as toxic. This is just how these connections, this is just how love is. But it's like his heart saw vulnerability with the one he wasn't supposed to want. He kept being drawn to her, pulled to her, and was still coming in and out of her life while still dealing with that Queen of Swords. And then he came to a conclusion that he wanted to, in order for him to be with her, he would have to change his ways to be in her world. And he realized how hard it actually was to do because he's doing all of this in silence, right? Nobody knows. His family don't know. Him choosing himself is actually harder than what it looks like. So it's like he's not as brave as her. He doesn't have the confidence. So it's like he it's like he was trying to align himself to her, but without fully aligning himself to her. It was like the energy I'm getting is like somebody who's like stringing it along. It's like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. But on their insides, they are changing because they're recognizing what she needs as a partner and they want to match that. But on their insides, it's like I'm doing the work internally because I know what I need to do to be here with this feminine, but physically, I'm still scared to tell people no. I'm still scared to I'm still scared of the backlash. I'm still scared of how this is going to all play out. Like, how do I make this all work? And then that Queen of Swords is going to be mad if I leave her to go pursue this other connection. So it's like they start to formulate a plan that they could have this in the future. This boldness is going to come in at some point. Like, so they could work on the external things in a way, not really saying no to their family and friends, but maybe it's like they're working harder so they could buy a house and preparing for children and things like that. But it's like still in their mind, it's like, I'm not ready to separate from my family. I'm going to have the courage and confidence in the future one day. But I'll just keep watching that feminine, observing her, because she wasn't a Queen of Pentacles yet, right? But they were making the changes. She just wasn't a Queen of Pentacles yet. I think they were more so watching to see if she was with anybody else. Like, this feminine wasn't just down and out to where it's like she she just she she looks good. She take care of herself. You get me? She just wasn't polished the way that they are, or she don't do the things that they do. But see, at the same time, it's like he doesn't really know her. He's judging her based off of how she's showing up. She could do all of those things and just keep it hidden. Everybody don't feel the need to post everything that they do to show that they have money or that they're living life, right? I'm one of those people. I care more about like making makeup tutorials or like, I don't know, just creating fun videos, but I'm not a show off. I could be doing so much behind the scenes and people would never know cuz I like living a private life, right? So it's like everything ain't for social media to prove that you got it or you don't. And I feel like that's how he judged her. It's like he didn't see her doing things that he do, so he just assumed like she's not like that, right? Um so boom, this is all from his lens, how he's seeing it. So but he keeps watching her, he keeps watching her, and then along the line, again, this is all before she becomes the Queen of Pentacles. Then along the line, he figures out she's an empress. The way she thinks, she's wifey material. So I feel like it becomes a change of like, regardless of the money that she has or don't have, she's someone he would want to marry. She's someone he would want to. She is someone she would want. He would want to settle down with, because how loving and kind and nurturing she is. And remember, he's already intrigued by her personality, how free she is. So he just feels like, oh my God, she's like a prize. Because I think it becomes I'll give her anything if she's mine. I don't really care if she's this Queen of Pentacles anymore, because I can take care of her. I can dress her up. I can make her look nice. I could take care of her. But she's an empress. And then I feel like once they finally got the realization she's an empress, she showed up as a Queen of Pentacles. You get it? So it's like they spent so much time just watching her, watching her, staying away from her, coming in and out, making it seem like they're going to start something. Then they don't. They just keep analyzing her, and they're slowly making changes, but then they're like, I'm not ready yet. In the future, I'll have more confidence. It's like they're thinking they have time, and then boom, she becomes a Queen of Pentacles, but she's already walked away from them. And then now it's like they feel like she has such a negative perception of them, because she knows that they were invested in that Queen of Swords. So the reason why I just told y'all the story like that was because now we're coming back to this energy where that's their perception of how they were going through things, managing things, right? Um yes, I'm doing collective readings. I always do collective. I don't do personals on live. Um but it's like she knows they were invested in that Queen of Swords, but see, remember, in their mindset, it was like I was confused, because the Queen of Swords was already there. The Queen of Swords was someone I was supposed to be with. We looked good on paper. But then this Queen of Pentacles intrigued me, and they weren't a Queen of Pentacles yet, and I didn't know why I was so drawn to them, attracted, and I didn't want to lose it, but I wasn't ready to have it. It's like they were figuring out themselves. So they're like, but she thinks that I was so invested in this Queen of Swords. She doesn't know the full story. She doesn't know that I wanted to, I had to figure it out, and I chose her, but I still had to do things strategically. Like, I have to separate myself from this Queen of Swords. I have to separate myself from this lifestyle, but I have to have confidence to do it as well, and I don't have the confidence. Like, I'm not like her. I'm not as bold as her. I'm not as confident as her. And see, because they made the moves the way they did, it still turned out to be karma. Because regardless, They didn't open their mouth. They didn't let her know what they were going through. They didn't let her know what they were dealing with. It's 222 on the time, and it's 22 of you guys watching. They didn't know, right? They didn't, I mean, she didn't know. She didn't know what they were dealing with. So the all she knows is like how this person is showing up, how they're choosing to treat me in the situation. Regardless of if they had their plan or not, they didn't think about her perspective on how she feels and what she's dealing with and how um she could be perceiving them based off of their action. It's like they didn't have the awareness. They didn't have the emotional intelligence. So it led to this outcome because they misjudged her for one in the beginning. That's why it's so much to the story, but I don't want to get into everything because it's like even when they were dealing with that Queen of Swords, they still spent an amount of time there. And I felt like they started something with the Queen at one point, the Queen of Pentacles at one point, and they went back to the Queen of Swords because they felt like they don't really want that Queen of Pentacles. Maybe it's just for passion, and they spent more time there, right? There's a period that they separated, and then they got back together again, and then they realized that like they shouldn't have went back to that Queen of Pentacles. I mean that Queen of Swords, because that Queen of Swords was actually drama. That Queen of Swords doesn't really make them happy, but then it's like them having to move away from the situation. It's like the time that they were supposed to do it was when they met her, but it's like they didn't. They prolonged before they realized that they should have been doing that work. So they didn't really start doing the work until a little bit before she becomes the Queen of Pentacles, right? So now it's like you're running out of time. You've already ran out of time because you've already been stuck in this karmic cycle for an amount of time when you should have been working from the very moment you met me. But instead you was just observing me, watching me, trying to figure out things instead of just spending time with me, getting to know me. So now they feel bad because they feel like they made the wrong choice, because they feel like in her eyes, now we know the situation is that how she feels about them, but in their eyes, they feel like she thinks I'm a player. She thinks that I was choosing the Queen of Swords. She doesn't know the whole story, that I was like what I'm really dealing with, what what she awakened in me, that I had to really change. She thought I was already like her, right? Because he didn't open up. That's really his fault, though. That's his fault. He was stuck in a negative karmic loop cycle. So, Page of Cups. He needs to apologize. Now we have the Emperor. It's like he needs to make an apology to her because he has this huge amount of love for her. He always did. But he fought against himself, the connection. And that's what it really boiled down to. Like, it wasn't her, but he confused her. He made her think that he didn't want her or she wasn't good enough for the connection. He wasn't showing up. So all she could think is, you're a player and you was choosing somebody else over me, and I know about it, and you didn't tell me that. I had to find out. So I don't feel like you have, the feminine's perspective is like, you have no loyalty, you're unreliable, you're not an emperor, like you don't deserve me. She thinks that they're superficial. She thinks that they are a gold digger. She probably think they're a gold digger too. Right? And she feels like they're toxic. So she has an idea of who they are based off of what they showed her. Even though she felt like they had this connection, this bond, they didn't show up as that. So she's just looking at what she saw. And then she's like, she really don't trust them now that she's this Queen of Pentacles, because to her, what that looks like, oh, now that I'm successful, or now I look like what you want, now you want to come back? I don't trust you. I don't believe you. What do you want? What do you want from me? Because why wasn't I good enough in the past? Now I'm good enough for you because I look good. I look the part. But see, now he's an emperor. Now his perspective has changed. Now he's grown. So his response is like, no, I had to grow up. I had to be an emperor. I wasn't an emperor when you met me. I was still immature. I was a people pleaser. I was juggling so much. He was trying to be everything to everybody. This person was a people pleaser, right? She was free spirited. So she don't understand that when she's free spirited, that you're trying to be here and here and here and here. What is so hard about you choosing what you want for yourself? But that's who he was. He was a people pleaser. He he wanted to keep the peace, and that was his journey to take. He had to change. He had to become different. He had to go through this rebirth. And it was actually very, very painful, because I feel like once he started to choose himself, so it's like these are different timelines that I'm reading right now, because I feel like she gets away from them. When she found out, we saw his whole little thing, his observation, how he watched her, how he felt about her. But when she found out they were still dealing with that Queen of Swords while he wasn't getting to know her and he was juggling back and forth, she separated herself, because she was like, fuck that, I'm not about to deal with this. If that's where you want to be, go be over there. I know that I'm deserving of more. And she wasn't going to let her bring her through pain. So she let it go. And they kept spying on her. They didn't apologize, nothing, reach out, nothing. But they knew that she was right. And they knew that they had to stay away from her until they were ready to be this emperor and offer her something. That's how they saw it. Like, I can't come back in unless I can offer her something. And I still don't have the confidence. But she doesn't know the full story. So it's like, as they kept letting her get away, the more she kept losing interest, the more she kept thinking negatively about them, because they never cleared up anything. Hey, Loyalty. Hi, Nisham. They never cleared up anything. And they never apologized. So she just saw them in a negative light. And that's what they couldn't understand from her perspective. Like, you created this dynamic, this situation. You are so unclear. You are so wishy-washy, bouncing back and forth, because you didn't know what you wanted, to where you messed up how this feminine sees you. And this feminine went on to be everything, because not only is she an empress, she also is a Queen of Pentacles. So she never wanted you for your money. She never wanted you for your status. She actually saw you, and she actually wanted you. But you never wanted to get to know her, because you felt like she didn't fit what you were supposed to want on paper. So that was the lesson he had to learn within that dynamic too, because it's like he judged a book by its cover. And instead of him just going, all he had to do was just get to know her. That's all he had to do, because that's what he wanted to do. Instead of thinking about everybody else and their approval, he needed everybody's approval. So him needing everybody's approval, she didn't know that he was like that. She thought he was confident, because remember, he showed up like he was confident. But eventually it didn't even matter to her. She was just like, they're dealing with somebody else. Let them stay over there if that's where they want to be. I'm going to move on with my life because I know my worth. I'm going to keep focusing on what I'm focusing on. She knew who she was becoming, right? And then she knew the gift that she was. But she's like, they're just going to have to learn the hard way. But I don't think she thought they were judging her. I think she thought that they were being intentional. She could have thought that they were maybe still healing, but I don't think that she thought, she just didn't think negatively of them at first until she found out about that Queen of Swords. Because it was like, oh, so you haven't been healing. You've just been distracting yourself with someone else's energy. Okay, it's time for me to go because I'm wasting my time here. Like, you're not gonna have me and have her, and then you can't even show up for me. Because I don't think this masculine was in a relationship. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing that he was trying to figure out who he was gonna build this relationship with. So it's not that she was worried about their options. It's, you're not going to treat me like an option because I can have options too. But if I feel like you're the person that I really connect to, bond with, then I'm going to choose you. But if you don't choose me back, I'm not going to keep choosing you and you choosing a different option. It's a choice. It's all a choice. So I feel like that was her perspective of it, right? So we've seen both perspectives. And she just went on about her business, focused on her bag, became that Queen of Pentacles. And they seen that. Now she's a full-blown Queen of Pentacles. And it happened right after she walked away from them. Right after she said, I know what you got going on. I'm done. Like, I don't need this anymore. You're not serious about me. I'm not going to be serious about you. And then back to what I was saying in the current, when I said it's different timelines, I feel like they still had to let her walk away, like, because things were fully ended. It's like, it's done. There's no more going back and forth. They've been found out. She has a perception of them. So the only way he can come back in is if he's a full-blown emperor. He's changed and he's a different version of himself. But he knows what it's going to take. Everybody's going to fight him. So now he goes, because he's also knowing that he's running out of time. Hi, dope. He's knowing he's running out of time. So he's like, she let me go. She was serious. Now she's this Queen of Pentacles. Oh my God. Like, she's about to attract someone else. She's going to attract someone better. Someone who's going to give to her. Right? Because it's like, remember, he lived a certain type of lifestyle. So let's say this person was middle class. I don't know what's underneath middle class. What is that? Lower class? Let's say she was lower class when he met her. He was middle class. Like in between middle class, high class, whatever. She worked herself up from low class to middle class, but she's steadily elevating, so she's going to get to high class. He ends up, now that she's in the middle class, he knows she's going to attract somebody else in middle class, right? Hi, Kenneth. Hi, Lizelle. He knows she's going to attract somebody in middle class. But you got to remember, he knows she's the full package. So one, she don't need him. She doesn't need his money. She doesn't need anything. She just wanted his love, his attention, his time. He didn't give it to her. he was with that Queen of Pentacles, that Queen of Swords. That's how she sees it through her eyes. So they know, because she has that interpretation of them, and she's attracting someone else, she's gonna get with someone that's of their caliber or even better. That's competition for them. And they know that she's a full-blown empress. What she has in her is special, because they didn't see the Empress in the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords fit them on paper, but the Empress would make him better, greater. And it's like she sparks stuff in him. She makes him feel, she makes him want to be better, want to do more. We got a lot of aces. So I feel like right now there's a panic, there's an anxiety, there is I feel like this is now current energy, right? Because we read the whole storyline. Take it as it resonates. Some of you guys, this hasn't even happened yet. Some of y'all ain't even met this person yet. Some of y'all, this is coming up in the future, but at this point in this timeline, they feel like this is their only opportunity at getting this feminine back, because she's still single, right? But they know she's moving forward each and every day. She's moving on. She's not waiting for them. She's not hoping for them. She does not expect this person to appear back into her life, because I don't even think that even if they do appear in her life, it's going to be easy for them to get her back. Like, they have to prove themselves to her. She's not going to give them more time to waste her time. Okay, we're about to end it. Cats. See, I told y'all it's going to be competition. It's them cats out there fighting. They feel like she was made for them. Damn. This is going to be the ultimate loss if they lose her. But what they feel like, this is their last opportunity to come get her back, because she's moving forward. And every day she's getting further and further away from them. And every day it's like she's losing interest, right? That spark is dying more and more. Her passion is dying more and more and more. So either they might impulsively reach out and decide to just tell her everything. I don't think that they might be fully healed, but they might just tell her everything of the truth, what was going on, what they held back, why they did it, and let her know that they're still working through some things, but they wanted her. They always wanted her. They were very toxic. They were very, very toxic, and they regret that they weren't healed when they met her. They regret how they chose to handle the situation, that they even put her in competition, that they even made her feel like that. They feel guilty. They feel remorseful, because they feel like her judgment of them was a result of what they put her through, right? They could see through her eyes why she would think they are a player, or they're no good, and they have bad intentions, and she don't trust them. They don't like the idea that she does not trust them, but they understand why she don't, because they can understand now that they made her feel like that. it's like when they had to pull themselves back, they got stuck into this place where they had to think about their feelings and their emotions. And that's where they felt bad, because they felt like, I'm losing the person that I really wanted because I chose. It's like they're feeling disgusted with themselves, like, how could I do that? I chose everything but what I wanted. You get me? It's like I put everybody and everything above what I wanted because I was insecure, or I didn't have the bravery to choose myself, and I hurt her, the person that I wanted. I hurt her by not choosing her, by not by not taking action, by being selfish, by allowing other people to rule my life and my decisions and my choices, by not having courage. King of Cups. And then they turn into the King of Cups and they sit there and they cry. So I feel like they've cried about this situation, or they will, in silence. The Moon. They're passing through so many emotions because they always loved her. They always loved her. They always wanted her. But everything in this relationship was them rejecting her, rejecting her, rejecting her. Now they feel like what it feels like to be rejected. That's their karma. So I feel like this still ends on a cliffhanger, but I gotta go to bed. This gonna go on and on and on. This still hanging on a cliffhanger because we haven't seen them yet if they're gonna reach out to this feminine. I feel like they want to. They want to reach out. They want to communicate, but a part of them is like, I can't come to her until I'm an emperor because I've already messed up so much. If I communicate to her, reach out to her, and I start this up again, for one, she's not going to take me seriously because she's going to think I'm still the same. For two, her not seeing me as this emperor, and I'm still dealing with letting go of my family and the problems and this Queen of Swords. I'm still not available to her. I'm still not free to date her, be with her. She might not like that, and she might just tell me, never, you know what, just don't ever reach out to me again. Don't ever speak to me again. Because you're still not in a place to give to me and you want me to wait. It's like that energy, right? They're still healing through things. They still haven't made all those decisions. They're still holding on to, I don't know how to explain it, because it's like they're making changes, but I feel like this person needs like another year. And they could have already taken like 3 years out of her life, 2 years out of her life. It's been a significant amount of time. Because like I said, when they met her, they were supposed to start making those changes, but they didn't. They stayed away, they watched her, and then they were dealing with that twin flame because they had this toxic cycle where they go back and forth to each other. They were really, really toxic when they met this feminine. They have changed a lot. They've improved. But this situation might be a little too late because it's like the way I see their energy, they still haven't learned all the lessons that they need to because they waited too long. It's like let's say they had 3 years to deal with this feminine. And I'm smelling some kind of meat, like tasting it like steak. I don't know why. But let's say they had like 3 years with this feminine. That first year, they moved very slowly, right? And then they connected to her. And then they were still dealing with that twin flame. So it's like they were just tempted by her. They wanted passion with her and felt like They were just going to hit it and quit it. But then maybe she didn't give that to them. So they saw that she was different. So they sat back, right? But they still had their little main thing, so they weren't worried, but they were still intrigued by her. Then going into year 2, maybe another opportunity came in. It switched up things a little bit, and then they got a little bit closer, but there was still a distance that he kept, but that main person was still there, right? Like, because he can't let go of the person he's being drawn to, the new person, but he still has this attachment with this old person. And then it's like he doesn't want to invest fully until he's observed it enough. And then he's thinking, then going back to all those other things that I said, he's looking at it from the standpoint of, even if I want to go towards this person, I don't see how it could work, right? So he's being toxic. But then slowly he starts to discover, like, that she's really an empress, and these changes he needs to make. So then time is still going though. Time is prolonging. So then that's already 2.5 years, right? Let's say it's like that. And then he's slowly making those changes, but he's looking at the practical things of, like, well, let me start saving up a little bit more money so I could get a bigger house. So when I ask her to marry me, I can take care of her and our family. But I'm still going to keep sleeping with this karmic. I'm still going to keep going out to dinner and spending all this money and living this lavish lifestyle with all my friends and family until I have the full confidence to now say, hey, everybody, I've met someone, I'm getting married, and I'm not going to be doing these things that I used to do anymore because all my time and energy is going to my person. You can't do it like that. But it was like that was his unrealistic plan of how things was going to go for him. So he wasted so much time. And then the last 5 months, right? Because I'm saying, like, let's say it's like a 3-year thing. Then the last 5 months, the feminine is just finally like, you know what? This masculine hasn't changed anything. They've never taken me out on a date. They don't want to get close to me. They don't want to have a real conversation. They're just in and out of my life throughout these years. And if they still don't seem to know what they want, even though I see something in them, it's time for me to move on, because I know that I'm an empress and I'm manifesting an emperor. So I need to move on, let this go. I've given them way more opportunities and time to say what they wanted with me, get themselves together, and they haven't. I need to move forward. And then it's like those last 5 months, they start realizing, like, they need to really make these changes quicker. But then when she finally really end things, now it's like, oh my God, I've run out of time. I thought I had more time. I was working on these changes. No, you weren't. Like, you were trying to have your cake and eat it too. Like, it's like they have this fantasy of them being with her in their mind, but still choosing everything above her while they already lost her, and thinking that they'll be able to come back later because they'll be able to give her everything. Because remember, they thought that they knew she was an empress on the inside, but they thought that her outer world didn't reflect that. So they thought that the money that they were going to come in and give to her was going to be something impressive for her when she went out there and got that for herself. So her becoming that Queen of Pentacles is a shock to them, because now you have to offer more than money and you've already messed up the situation. So it's like, when he was the main in her life, he was in the winning. Now he's at the bottom and she's about to meet other people. So that's where he's having to face right now. But again, he's not 100% ready to be a part of this connection because he has not made all those changes necessary. So that's the karma playing out right now. It's like, Either he's going to reach out, tell her everything, and hope that changes can be made, that she can forgive him, or he just loses the connection. But what he tells her, it matters. It matters because remember, we started off with get more information, opportunity, and sorry, y'all, I guess I'm really not showing y'all nothing. Peaceful resolution. So I do feel like at some point they are going to reach out. They might impulsively reach out and they're going to tell her everything. And then she's going to have to decide what to do from there, because depending on what they tell her might either change her mind or it might solidify what she already knew and just stay on her decision. So that was team. That and the one on TikTok. If y'all want the one on TikTok, that will be uploaded by Wednesday. So if you guys want to join the Patreon, the link is in the bio. If you guys are new, my name is Queen She. Thank you guys for following. There's videos on the homepage. I will do the rest of the zodiacs because I have 4 more left, and then we'll start up the newer cycle. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Nani, for always moderating.